gentlemen, welcome to BBK Sports. Welcome back to BBK Sports if you are a returning viewer. I have a very special guest today, all the way from Finland. From Finland, this man is as busy as they come. And if you know Tony, I've missed Tony. And if you know Tony, you've missed Tony over the past couple of years. I had to reach out to him and said, bro, where you are in these YouTube spaces? The people have been asking for you, Making his debut on BBK Sports, ladies and gentlemen, we have man like Tony Claude. Tony, what you saying, my bro?
See ya, people. See ya, guys. Yeah, the Gunner is back. See, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm honored. I'm happy. Not just for the reasons that I'm appearing on my brother's channel for the first time, because I like his content. I used to be in the charts. I come even to watch during playbacks, on YouTube when I watch your show, because you're one of those channels, that you have the mind of your own. I mean, there's some commentary of yours that I might have a slight issue with. But I agree with most of them most of the time. But again, the thing there is that you have a mind of your own, and anyone in this space that have a mind of their own, have their own individuation, how they want to put things, that person makes a whole lot of sense to me. You make a whole lot of sense to me, brother. And again, you've become one of my very good friends in this YouTube space. I mean, I was out, couple of people, text me, Tony, what's up? But you were one of those that reached out and said, hey, Tony, man, I've not been seeing you. Is everything okay? It means a lot when brothers do that. Not that you would gain anything from me per se, apart from, of course, we do stuff together. But I mean, just for doing that, I mean, man, it means a whole lot to me. Big ups to you, BBK Sports. And your fan base down here, big ups to you too. And of course, I mean, let's get straight down into it. I mean, there's a whole lot of things up there with Arsenal. And definitely, guys, this is episode 2 of Stir the Pot, which is a co-owned show between me and my brother. The first installment was handled on my own channel. This is the second installment. Traditionally should be on his own channel. So guys, smash up the likes and show us some love, and let's go deep into what we're hearing about Arsenal and whatnot, and the summer. And of course,
speaking of having a mind of your own, there's a lot of debate. The fan base seems to be split right now over the striker choice, or the rumors of our striker choice. It's split down the middle, left, right. Benjamin Sesko, Victor Gyökeres. Tony, what are your thoughts? Can you tell our viewers, what do you think of Sesko, of Gyökeres, and who better fits the Arsenal for what we need for our 4th try at the title under Arteta?
I mean, we might be split on some aspects of what I'm going to say today on your channel, my brother, man. And that's because I don't believe in crowd mentality. I believe in having my own opinions, and my own opinions, as controversial as they may sound, I love to think they are closer to the truth, and I'll give you perspectives. I want to get this out there. Arsenal needs an out-and-out striker. Let's get that correct. Arsenal didn't win a trophy, partly last season, partly because we have no point man. Right. We have no striker. We don't have that guy who is in the box, deeply rooted in the box. Latch onto those loose balls and get the goals that we need to take us to the other level. Teams like Liverpool have Salah, they have even several other team players that could actually chip in the goals. Arsenal don't have that luxury. Maybe Bukayo Saka, yeah, of course. Maybe a little bit of effort from Kai Havertz. but it's not the product that we need. We definitely need a point guard down there, a point man, number 9. True and true. Since Aubameyang left the football club, I haven't seen, a striker who will go bar to bar with any of the traditional strikers Arsenal have had over the years that are winners, including RVP. Sesko, Victor Gyökeres. I won't lie to you. I want, and I still want, a Victor Gyökeres in this football club. Let's get that correctly, yeah? Because I do think that we need that finished product. We need that guy who will come into the football club and hit the ground running. Straight up, hit the ground running. But again, we've totally thrown out of the picture about this manager we have in this football club. Nothing is a given with this manager. I mean, let's put perspectives into play here. We still have a manager who is down here who doesn't necessarily brings out the. I mean, you could talk of the defenders we have. Yeah, he's tried his best with our defenders. Yeah, good and okay. We've seen good sides from Saliba. We've seen good sides from and good gains from Magalhaes. But I mean, with our attacking players, I mean, there isn't any big improvement in it. When you look at a player like Bukayo Saka, he is what he is. It's Bukayo Saka. He doesn't need anyone to improve him. He would improve himself. And season in, season out, he has always proven himself. Even this season when, injuries came, hard at him, he still came back, did his thing. So it's a separate part of what I'm going to be talking about, because Mikel Arteta hasn't improved Martinelli. He hasn't improved Trossard. Definitely hasn't improved Jesus. He never got anything going for Balogun who left the football club. He never helped or aided in the development of Eddie Inke. Yeah. So he has a long streak of failures and woes with strikers. So what I want to cut off from this is that there is no given that any striker will come to this football club and hit the ground running with this manager. Let's get that out the way. But yeah, because this man would make any player we bring in to the football club to do other things in the team other than striking, other than being the point man in that number 9 position, other than being a fox in the box to score goals. Mikel Arteta wants him to do alternative stuff down there in the field. He wants a player to link up play. He wants a player to hold up play. He wants a striker to be that guy to ward other players off from the oppositional setup. He wants high octane pressing from our number 9. I mean, he wants the number 9 to do every other thing alternatively, apart from being the point guard scoring goals. His system doesn't suit a number 9, and that's what we're failing to understand. Yeah, that it's more about the canker one we have there, the cancer we have down there, rather than whoever we're going to bring into the football club. There is no given that Gyökeres is going to come to this football club and get us 30, 35 goals in a season. To be very sincere with you, it's all risk, it's all give and take. Gyökeres, however, would be a more calculated risk with what we've seen out there. With him banging in goals, it will be more of a very calculated risk. But it's not a given that he's going to succeed under this Mikel Arteta system. So that's why I'm now saying, what is it about Gyökeres that we do think that if he comes down to Arsenal, is going to hit the ground running down here? His form in Portugal, He scored
Well,
lots of goals back-to-back season,
no, but
right?
I like the term
Like,
that you
what?
use.
Like, that's a direct question to you.
Yeah, I like the term that you use there, calculated risk, because everything in football is a calculated risk, right? And for Arteta, a guy who likes numbers, a guy who likes to sit in this press conference and talk about with the amount of points that we've accumulated over the past 3 years, we should have had the Premier League twice. Okay, you talk numbers. Well, let's talk numbers, Mikhail. Sesko has 13 goals in 33 games, right? So even if you applied some Bundesliga tax to that and translate into the Premier League, where it's historically harder to score goals in the Premier League than it is in Bundesliga, Kai Havertz and many other players have proven that. 13 goals in 33 games, you put some Premier League tax to that, that's maybe 7 to 8 goals. That's not what we need. That is not what we need. Calculated risk is a perfect term to use, because if you're going to take a calculated risk, you want to take the calculated risk on the guy who hit the net 39 times last year in the Portuguese league. He hit the net 39 times in 33 caps. I'm willing to die with bleeding out.
But again, the Portuguese league is an inferior league to the Premier League. I mean,
It
I've
is.
seen so many hyped up players who've come from that league and literally come to the Premier League and struggled. I've seen a Nunes banging goals for Benfica in the heart of Portugal, and then came down to Liverpool, where he has a Salah down there helping out, where he has a McAllister helping out, where he has Diaz helping out in terms of the whole chunk of goal scoring, and he can hit the ground running. He doesn't seem to settle quite well at Liverpool. I've seen a whole host of Portuguese players struggle in the Premiership also. So let's don't feel like this will be a given that Gyökeres is going to come to this football club and banging goals.
Here's the thing.
It's all a calculated risk,
right?
Mostly with this manager. It's a calculated one. It fits the billing. It's a calculated one, but it's still open for debate right now. It's still open for debate, and that's why I'm not out for the slagging off of Sesko. Sesko isn't the problem of the football club. Sesko isn't the reason why this football club have decided to go for him. It's Berta. It's Mikel Arteta, who has actually shown Arsenal fans right now who's boss and who's the monarch in that Arsenal setup right now. He's just proven to us that Berta is a figurehead guy. I mean, if Sesko is wanted by Mikel Arteta and Berta actually wanted Vitor Gyökeres, and we're meant to believe that this Andre Berta guy is a staunch believer in, in making the right moves, in making very, very, very calculated moves in the transfer window. He's supposed to be this transfer guru from Atletico Madrid, who is feared, who is respected, and who knows his onions in terms of the transfer window, of course, in Europe in general, per se. And right now he's bending to the will of Mikel Arteta by going into negotiations with RB Leipzig to bring in Sesko. Now, that's your cancer. That's your problem. It's not a Sesko problem. I'm not part of this bandwagon that's out here calling for this Sesko guy to be cancelled, saying that he's trash. I don't think he's trash. Personally, I don't think Sesko is trash. You can talk about the numbers, but I mean, I didn't just start supporting Arsenal a few years ago, but I'll take you back a few years ago. There's a particular striker everyone wants right now, and that guy is called Isaac. A couple of years ago, when he was playing his trade in Real Sociedad, he didn't get more than 15 goals. Bro, I'm not sure he hit the 14-goal mark in the Spanish La Liga on its own. But right now, Arsenal fans will want to go down to Newcastle to pay 200 G's just to get an Isaac who 4 seasons ago, we all said, he's a raw talent. He still has that raw capability of a striker, but he doesn't have the numbers yet. Sesko is a complete guy. The only thing about him that's missing is really his figures. So, I mean, we talk with the back of our mouths and with the back of our heads, and we totally forget everything. I wouldn't be the guy that will stay here and say Sesko is shit. I wouldn't stay here and say Sesko is trash. No, I wouldn't say that. What I would say is he's not our problem. Go for the problem. Mikel Arteta is the problem. Berta is the problem. The board is the problem, not Sesko. So don't transfer your aggression to Sesko. He's just a 21-year-old kid trying to play his football. And personally, I think he's a complete guy. He's a project player at best. But in the next 2-3 seasons, it will be a completely different story. Maybe an Isaac story on steroids. And it will be just one more player that Arsenal would miss out yet again. And again, like I've told you before, even if Gyökeres comes to this football club, it's not even still a given because we still have the cancer in the football club in the first place. So it's a win-win or it's a lose-lose situation.
So you see what you said there about Gyökeres, with Sesko being a 21-year-old. This is the sticking point for me, Tony. This is the sticking point right here where I'm not for the Sesko thing, because in the 5th year of Arteta, whatever phase we're in now, he's been here for 5 years, and now we have all the pieces. We have the solid defense. We have an okay goalkeeper. You know, we have a decent midfield. This is the attack that's stinky. And now when you're about to put the final piece in the puzzle, you want to go for another project striker. I don't want to hear it. I need the calculated risk to be in favor of the guy that's most likely to bang. And if I'm taking a chance on the Portuguese league, yes, there is Portuguese tax there. I will concede that. Yep. There's tax there, but there's tax in the Bundesliga as well, because we can apply that same Bundesliga tax to Havertz, because he was lighting up at Bayern Leverkusen and he came to Chelsea and never.
But again, the Bundesliga is a more higher league than I rate the German Bundesliga than I rate the Portuguese league.
Yeah, I agree. But I think
the German league is a more competitive league than
Portuguese league to the German
for me
than
in Portugal.
Is higher. I think it's higher.
No, I mean, I hear you, but in terms of the European coefficient, I tend to go towards Germany per se. You know, I mean, even if I'm a pan English football fanatic, I wouldn't shit on German football. I still think it's ranked. I still think there's still lots of bigger players. And again, let's be fair to this Sesko guy in some ways. Let's don't act as if they have the same apparatus that we have, because you just made mention of Arsenal having a decent midfield, of Arsenal having decent centre backs per se. So definitely we have more of the ball. In RB Leipzig, it's not like that. He doesn't have a barrage of midfielders that could be able to supply him. And in fact, to even compare him in that standard, it's even unfair, because it has a point man there's a point man in RB Leipzig called Mpenda. And Mpenda usually is the guy that's favored to be in that number 9 position, while Sesko is the one doing the dirty job, is the one going for those layoffs, is the one holding players off, is the one laying the ball over, is the one that's very tenacious in terms of when he's actually pressing, because it's a high octane presser. He presses. I mean, I can go through all these technicalities with you because I've actually seen him play. I've seen him play before. So I'm not going to sit down here just because I want Gyökeres and then I shit on Sesko's name. It's not. I'm not built like that. I'm built to be a fair person. You know, I don't want to just criticize people just for the failures of my football club. Sesko is not who I have a problem with. I have a problem with Arteta. I have a problem with Berta, who is agreeing to bring in a 21-year-old to this setup. It's a problem in itself. And we as Arsenal fans aren't seeing it in that way. Oh, instead, what do? Let's just go and get the guy, the 21-year-old kid. Let's pick on him. Let's call him shit. Let's call him trash. That's your response. But my own response is the failures of Mikel Arteta and Berta in bringing in what we need. Sesko isn't our problem. And by the way, Sesko isn't a trashy player. He's just a young project player who needs time to develop. Do I think he will develop under Mikel Arteta? The answer is no. But trust me, if you flip the script and Mikel Arteta is sacked, yeah, and the first response of Ancelotti is bringing in a Sesko to Arsenal, you wouldn't complain with that buy. You would not complain with that buy. You would say, well, we have a world-class manager. Let's see. And a world-class manager who, by the way, understands and knows how to develop players, and he could hit the ground running even in his first season. So, I mean, the only reason why we're having this kind of conversation is because of the manager who is in place there, on if he could be able to even allow the guy to even hit the ground running when he comes in.
So, Tony, you said all that about Openda being the target man, the point man, and big up to the assemble. I started your question. I'm going to come back to it in a second. Right? I'm just letting the conversation flow, but big up to you. And big up to everyone watching. Smash the likes, people. Make sure you
big up to everyone. Jay Greens. A says everyone down here on my channel too. Big ups.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up, and big up to Ace. Big up to you, my bro. I hope you're well. But Tony, you said all that about Openda holding the ball up and doing all this stuff for Sesko, right? And yet,
not Impenda. Impenda is a typical number 9. It's a traditional number 9. Sesko has to do the dirty work. He has to lay off the ball. He holds up the ball perfectly. He's more versatile. It's more of that alternative kind of number 9. He could drift down to the left. He holds up. He holds off opposing players. He's very tenacious. When he's pressing, he presses like a dog that's angry. He is that guy. He has every other thing apart from the numbers to show for it. But one thing I want to let you know is that there are strikers whose numbers weren't really that good that came to the Premiership and excelled perfectly well. For example, a guy who you would go and throw £200 million to bring from Newcastle is out there. From Real Sociedad, he didn't even score 14 goals.
So you think that
wasn't even as young as Sesko, and he came down to Newcastle and is banking in goals. And you would definitely want to go spend 200 million on an Isaac. So I mean, I don't see the correlation here. You know, I want a Victor Gyökeres, but I'm not going to be one of those Arsenal fans who would call Sesko trash, useless, just because my club has failed to identify the kind of striker we need in our football club. My fight isn't with Sesko. My fight was with my manager, and my fight is with the board and Berta at large.
So the sticking point for me is we are meant to put the final piece of the puzzle, and then we're going after a guy who can only muster up 13 goals in an easier league. So he's coming to the Premier League. This Premier League tax applied to 13 goals, Tony, is that problem for me. So if I apply the tax to 39 goals versus the tax to 13 goals, I'm more inclined to take the guy who has scored 39. And I've seen him play. I actually see your.
But again, BBK Sport, you're a smart guy. You're a smart guy. You know that's not how football operates. You know styles make games. You know that, and you know that perfect fit also makes styles in games. Personally, if you ask me, I think Sesko all-round play suits Arsenal better than a Victor Gyökeres, because I've seen this manager misuse attacking players. It's in his wheelhouse to allow them do every other thing than scoring goals. So even this Victor Gyökeres that I want in my football club than a Sesko is still a calculated risk. That's why I opened the show talking about calculated risk. It's still a very, very big calculated risk, because you haven't cut off the canker worm that hasn't made us win a trophy in as many years as I can count. He's still there. So Victor Gyökeres has to come down to the football club, do every other thing than being a point man at Arsenal Football Club. He's going to drift down to the left. He's going to drift down to the right. He's going to use both feet. He's going to try to hold up play. And by the way, he's not a good fit with headers. Sesko is a more complete player when he's in his head. I mean, he scored lots of goals with his head. Victor Gyökeres didn't even score an open play goal with his head.
So you have a direct question right here from the assembled. A direct question on the screen. Is Sesko good enough for what Arsenal need right now?
Question is Sesko good enough for what Arsenal need right now? Yes or no?
Now mode, Tony. We don't have time. We are win now. We have to win now. So we don't have time to wait on
again
a 21-year-old.
Again, like I told you, this thing, even the same way you're talking about it now, and it's wrong if we go with that way. You have to look at the perspectives there. Like I've said this already, bringing in Victor Gyökeres doesn't assure you the title next season.
Right, but
do you understand this, brother?
You said the two magic words: calculated risk. I think Sesko is a higher risk. I want to take the lowest risk that's going to minimize our chances at the title, because we don't need 39 goals from Gyökeres. We need 22. And I think if you apply Premier League tax to 39 goals, it might drop it down to 22. That's what we need, because we drew 14 games, Tony. If we turned 7 of those draws into wins, we are in the title race. We are right there. We don't need
man, I hear you, but it's not a given with this manager that Victor Gyökeres is going to score that amount of goals. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree. So my issue
that's what I'm trying to say. Even that 22 might be a struggle for Victor Gyökeres. I'm telling you, because of this manager. Because of the manager. But again,
it's a no for me.
I mean, this is the same problem that we're going to face. It's the manager. I mean, it boils down to the same thing. Again, before the season ended,
yeah. Go on.
Yeah, before the season ended, there was this question of if we trust this manager to spend any more money. There's a reason why we asked that question. And this is the reason why. Because right now, we're now in a conundrum right now. This is the problem. Do you support this manager to spend any more money? The answer is no. And again, I would say this. I have no fight with Sesko. I really do think that in the next 2-3 seasons, that kid would be high flying. And if he goes to a football club like Barcelona or Real Madrid,
we don't have that much time. That's what I'm saying.
No. I mean, I hear you, but we said that same thing when it came to players like Haaland. We said that same thing when it came to players like Isaac. You know, they're good. They have that raw tapestry. They have everything, but they don't have the numbers. You talked about the numbers. Isaac never had the numbers when he transferred from Real Sociedad down to Newcastle. But look at the numbers he's getting at Newcastle. So if we're saying that, you checking Sesko's numbers in Germany, I mean, it doesn't correlate quite well, because I mean, styles make games. You fitting into a football club and fitting into the system makes those styles come alive. If Victor Gyökeres comes, man, I think he will hit the ground running. That's my own belief. That's my own idea. But if we're not to get Victor Gyökeres, I won't be all up in arms if we get Sesko. Let me just put it in that way.
Yeah, so the thing, Sesko, it seems like a project signing that's going to need, because I can hear...
No, it's a project signing.
I can hear
pure project signing.
He's young. He needs time to adjust to the Premier League. He needs time to adapt. I can hear all the excuses now. Just fast forward to May 2026. I can hear him now. So I'm just saying, we're in win now mode. There's pressure on us as much as there is on Liverpool, because Liverpool won the title. Now they have to retain it. There's pressure on them. Manchester City are coming back. We do not have time to babysit a 21-year-old who could barely muster up 13 goals in the Bundesliga, who is an inferior league to the Prem. Because we have a striker at our own club who proved that those meaningless goals at Bayern Leverkusen does not translate to the Premier League. So how many
bro, don't put Sesko and Kai Havertz in the same breath. They're not in the same breath. He's more explosive than Kai Havertz. He's more of a hard worker than Kai Havertz. He's a very, very high octane presser of the ball. He aids and abates attacks. It might be sometimes, he might hesitate in terms of getting his final product out. But man, it's been so long I've seen a player with a first touch like that of Sesko. His first touch is absolutely amazing. This guy. I mean, people just sit down there and criticize the guy. He's not your problem. Your problem is down there at the board. They're the ones not clearly bringing in Gyökeres, who I want, who you want. But if Sesko is the one that's coming, bro, I won't really fight it that much. I won't really fight, because either way, we're still with the same manager, isn't it?
Right.
So, I mean, I won't criticize the kid. I won't tear him down. Again, he could surprise us all if he's the one we get. That's all I'm saying, because he has all the whole trappings of a traditional number 9, a modern day traditional number 9, because he does every other thing and he can also score goals too. So the only reason why we're up in arms is because it's Mikel Arteta and because he's a 21-year-old who hasn't got the figures, the ratio, the goal ratio to back it up.
Yeah. Big up to AFC always. AFC always said, Tony, we could sign the best players in every position. Until this waste of space manager is still here, we ain't doing shit.
Dang, now that's it. Exactly. Now that's someone who understands what we're talking about. The fight isn't with Sesko. I have no fight with the guy. Personally, on the contrary, I do think he's a budding player. I do think he's a project player at best. But he's the one that is that kind of one that if you put him in a space in the next 2 seasons, it turns into something absolutely uncontrollable. It's guy, have you seen his size? Have you seen his sheer will, his sheer power? That guy is sizable. He's 6'5", bro. He's tall. And he's not just tall like a giraffe like Havertz. He's tall, and this guy is a brute. He's a physical brute. Yeah? When he runs at you, you fear it's like a lion is coming around. If you put that guy with several other quality wingers around you, someone like, let's say, maybe a Rodrigo, and maybe someone who could help out in that number 10, yeah? And someone like a Leroy Sané who is actually free to roam around.
Yeah.
He's just there for free. If we bring those kind of players down here and put him and put Sesko, if we get him, I don't think that would be a bigger problem. Sincerely, I don't think so.
System is free. No one in our system is afforded that level of freedom to be free. They're robots. They're programmed to be where Arteta tells them to be. But big up to the Assembled as well. The Assembled said, okay, Arsenal should be buying players that improve the squad. The squad obviously. So the obvious question is, how does Sesko improve the squad? And that's the sticking point. That's the sticking point here, I guess. And big up to Sassy Gunner. Big up to Sassy Gunner. Sassy Gunner says 7 draws and we actually win the league. 7 draws to wins and we actually win the league. Yeah. And I only say that because I think Liverpool just took the foot off their gas at the end when the league was already won and dropped those points to like Fulham and those other teams. You suppose?
Yeah. I thought the Assembled had a good question to ask.
And the Assembled had another question up here. He had another question up here that I didn't want to interrupt your flow as you were going through, but the question was, if a good enough bid comes in for any player, do you believe Arsenal will accept the offer and buy a cheaper option? So, for example, I think he's Saliba, Gabriel. Gabriel just signed a new contract today, but like Saliba, Real Madrid makes an offer. You think we accept it?
Yes. Because personally, I think Saliba wants out. I mean, when there's a constant rumor about a more bigger, more superior European power coming to take your player away, I mean, brother, you and me know when that invincible knock comes calling, you just say yes, sir, and you go. I mean, there's some certain knocks that come at the door. I mean, what you just say is yes, sir, and I feel that's the level Real Madrid are in right now in European football. They're that team that when they call calling, you just have to answer the door and say yes, sir. But if he stays here, after this summer, that'll be a big miracle, a huge miracle. Mostly because of the problems they have down there in centre back. They need a serious rebuild, and they need the best of the best to come down there and reignite what they used to have before. So I think Arsenal take that money for Saliba, but they might seek to get something in return, which is what we need on Rodrigo. So I'm kind of looking at a swap deal brewing in from there or something like that. But I think Saliba is unsettled.
Yeah.
And that's why the board are trying to tie up that deal with Gabriel Magalhaes right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sesko 22 tomorrow and Gyökeres is 27 in a few days. So basically, translation, Saski Gunner, one is an established striker, one is still a prodigy. And right now, I'm inclined to want to go for the established striker, man. We are in win now mode. We do not have the luxury of time at Arsenal Football Club. The window may have already been closed. Sure. We just don't know it yet. You know them ones. But, you know what I mean? I hear your points, Tony. They're valid. They're absolutely valid. But let's take the conversation away from that, right? Because our manager has used Kai Havertz up top. We know he loves Kai Havertz. We know he rates Kai Havertz. Now, say Sesko comes in. Sesko, Gyökeres, whoever we get to play striker, and he decides to start them at number 9. We know he loves Kai Havertz. He's going to play Kai Havertz, and he's not playing 2 number 9s. So that tells me that he's going to drop Kai Havertz back into our midfield if we sign a number 9 starter. And that right there will take us backwards.
Because but again, if there's anything we have to go by last season, man, I mean, BBK Sports, I mean, you're a smart guy. You know this. When you're going into your season, you need squad in depth. And Arsenal have got nothing close to squad in depth. You know this. Look at Liverpool. I mean, look at the squad in depth those guys have. And it's not such a big squad, but they have squad in depth for what they need to actually win them the title. That's what they had. So when they're pulling a defender, maybe someone in their defense, yeah, they have Conor Bradley to come in, yeah. Even Arnold had kind of like mixed reviews this season. He didn't have to play that much this season. You know, when he was out, I mean, they have other people to come in and take quick, tap, boom, someone is there. Gravenbach, there, Endo, there. They are squad in depth. See, having Kai Havertz, whom, by the way, it was your highest goal scorer last season.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't kill the messenger. I mean, I'm just stating the fact. Yeah. I mean, you can afford him to be in your bench, innit? I mean, he could be a bench player, innit? So there's no need. I mean, if you go by what I wanted to sell him off and get someone in. But we know this manager who have just boasted about Kai Havertz shattering the whole metrics in the gym, yeah? Do you think it's that? Bro, yeah. I live in the real world. Yeah, so I'm a realist. He's not going to sell the guy off. He's going to be here.
He's going to start.
He's not going to sell him.
Not only he's not
saying something.
Start. So that's what I'm saying. This is going to compromise our midfield. Big up to E. Ross, man. E. Ross, you see, I'm telling you, these people missed you out here in the YouTube streets, Tony.
Big up to E. Ross. E. Ross is my guy, man. That's my guy, man. You know, Jay Greens, big up to these people, man. Big up to these people.
Yeah. But so Sesko aside, Gyökeres aside,
but wait. What do you think about Sesko? I mean, let's be fair in the conversation. I mean, I'm not gonna put my neck on the line, and this is what I do every time on streams. I put my neck on the line, yeah, and others just want to sit back and relax, bro. No sitting back. This is tear the pot, guys. There's a reason why my show with my brother BBK Sports, yeah, is called Stir the Pot. I want him to also stir the pot too. I've stirred my own pot, yeah, and the fumes are out there. Stir your own pot and let's hear what you think. I've
I
heard
don't
what you
want him.
think about Gyökeres.
I don't
Won
want
that
him.
same fight. I want Victor Gyökeres. But
I don't
what do
want
you
him.
think about Sesko? Do you
I
think
don't
it's
want him.
trash? Do you think it's useless? I mean,
No.
I've heard those sort of insults on this guy and on a 21-year-old kid who's in my problem. I mean, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the guy? Have you seen him? Have you seen the kind of goals he scored? Have you seen what he brings to his own team? Have you watched him per se, rather than just go with the bandwagon and say, "Oh, it's useless. It's useless." Bro, I don't do crowd mentality. I
I
look at
don't think
things in
he's
a very
useless.
fair way.
I don't think he's useless. I just don't think he's what we need. I've seen him for Finland. I've seen him at RB Leipzig, and I've seen him play international football in the Nations League. Now I know international football is slower and not as intense as top tier European football, but I wasn't impressed with him in the Nations League either. And I'm not impressed by his Bundesliga output, because unfortunately for strikers and number nines, you get harshly judged on GA. Right, like midfielders, you midfielders will give you GA, but you look at the midfielder, eye test is a must. The eye test has to match the numbers. But when you're a striker, and I have to hear about all the other stuff you do other than scoring goals, your movement, your work rate, your touch. Do you score goals or not? Because Arsenal, we dominate every other matrix. We've had the best defense in the Premier League for 2 years running, and nothing to show for it. 2 years running, best defense. Our defense is not the problem. It's our attack. So whoever is coming in, do you know where the back of the net is? Bottom line. I don't think Sesko is what we need right now. I do not think he's another Isak prodigy where he'll come to us for cheap because he didn't hit mad GA in his own league and come and all of a sudden he does the Isak and he's worth 150 million. No, I don't think he's of that ilk. No, I don't think Sesko falls in that category. I think he's a decent player. I just don't think he's what we need. I think we need an established player, an established striker who moves the needle. So next year, when we're in the
but does he fit into Arteta's system? Do you think because again, see, this is where we as Arsenal fans also get it wrong. Do you think it fits into the system? Because Mikel Arteta is the coach and the manager bringing him in. Do you think it fits into the system this manager plays, or do you think Victor Gyökeres fits the system more? I know you'll be inclined to go with Victor Gyökeres because you're already biased. I'm already biased already, by the way, because we need that finished product. But again, read beneath the lines. Who suits Arsenal more with the system that we're playing right now?
So here's the problem with that question, Tony. The last 3 years, we played 3 different systems. In 2023, we were free-flowing, attacking football. Last year, it was defensive, dominant, control. This year, I don't know what our system was. So our system is all over the place. So the players
all out the window, innit?
Yeah, so that's why Arteta has to stand on the sideline and dictate every play, and looks like he's landing airplanes and doing Pilates out there. So our system is crazy. Hansi Flick doesn't do that. And Zaghi doesn't do that. Luis Enrique doesn't do that. He makes tactical adjustment, but he does not direct every pass and every position of every player to be. And we have to get out of this mentality of buying players for Mikel Arteta, because he will move on. That's why we have a sporting director now. He needs to set the tone. This is who we're going. This is how we're going to play. And you tell me the model or the mold of the players that you want, and I'm going to give you 3 names, and we'll settle on 1 or 2 of them. But you cannot just go into an office with Mikel Arteta and be like, "This is the one guy that I want," because every time we've given him his player, we have failed, because we needed a striker to close the gap in Manchester City, and his number 1 plan was Kai Havertz, while Isak was on the market. Right, he went for Moreno when Kudus was out there, and Eze was out there, and all these other Premier League proven players. So his talent ID is in the gunner. Anyone who spends 100 million on Kai Havertz and Fabio Vieira, then you sign Fabio Vieira only to loan him back to his parent club. When you make those bad decisions, I question your judgment. I question your judgment. So
atrocious decisions, bro.
Yeah, so I can't evaluate a player based on how he would fit in Arteta's system when Arteta himself does not trust his system. Because if you trust your system, you work on it
that's a bar.
Yeah, you work on your system Wednesday and Thursday, and on Sunday you sit down and let the players execute your plan. He does not trust them. That's why he has to tell them every movement to make. And as a player, Tony, that would confuse the shit out of me. If I have to receive the ball, look at the manager, and then pass it, you don't get that time in the Premier League. So we can't sign players just based on how we would think he would operate in Arteta's system. I do know that we have to win now. That's the only thing I know. We do not have the luxury of time. Arne Slot has just bought himself 3 years at Liverpool, right? Oliver Glasner has just bought himself a couple of years at Crystal Palace. Arteta is running out of time. So you don't have the luxury of trying to develop a Sesko into a new league. So if you're going to go pay $92 million for someone you have to develop, just go sign Mbeumo. He's already in the Premier League. And he scored 19 goals playing that wide.
Again, see, this Sesko guy, yeah, he's one of those kind of strikers, yeah, that I just feel if you put him in the right environment, if you feed him the ball the way other pretenders that were fed the ball this past season, 2 seasons ago at Arsenal, I think is that guy that could actually get to score goals because I think he's an all-round player. Personally, that's what I feel, and I feel that he's just one step, one encouragement, one big move, one big step away from realizing that situation. Is Mikel Arteta the guy to do that? That's where I have a problem. The answer is no. But if it's whether I think that guy will hit the ground running, I think he would because he has everything. Personally, he just needs the right personnel around him. Right personnel I'm talking about. We need a number 10, someone who will create. We need our wingers to be more potent, more invasive. He actually goes down the left because he can also play as a wide left. Also, you can transform him into any kind of, modern number 9 or modern attacking player you want him to be. And he can also play as a point man. So, at the end of the day, it's just his goals that are missing. That's just what I'm saying. It's just that goal ratio that's missing. It's not because I'm seeing many Arsenal fans and they're like, always useless, always. I don't think that's the story. That's what we're meant to believe because of the failures of our football club.
Yeah, I don't think he's useless.
I don't really think it's that bad the way people are saying.
Yeah. Because if Arteta
I don't think so.
If Arteta is sold on Sesko and he wants Sesko, if he wants Sesko, right? And say, for example, Andrea Berta said, no, your talent ID is in the gutter. I'm not getting you Sesko. I'm going to get the striker that I think the club needs and go and get Gyökeres. Arteta gets Gyökeres. I think he might even sabotage him and play him in a position that won't even get the best out of him.
Exactly. I'm playing. Bro, now you're talking. Now you're talking. You actually get it because I don't have any problem with this players. It's the manager I have that problem with. It's not a given. It's just a calculated risk. If Gyökeres comes to this football club, bro, Mikel Arteta could sabotage him, bro. We've seen this, bro. Should we be saying this all again? We've seen players like Tierney being sabotaged in this football club. And that's one of the most decent left backs that has a cross in it, like a very, very potent cross in it. But he sabotaged the guy. So don't say and don't think that if Gyökeres comes into this football club, that's gonna have, like 2 of them are gonna hold hands, him and Mikel Arteta, and sail onto the sunset, and Gyökeres is just gonna, just come in, bamboozle his way into the Arsenal team and win the league for us, bro. I don't think so. It's gonna be extra hard for a player like Victor Gyökeres who will succeed at Arsenal with the kind of system we're playing. It's not suited for a number 9. How do I explain? It's not suited for a traditional goal poacher.
Yeah.
It's more suited for someone who will actually run around, hold up play, try helping out with the build-up, who's more versatile in the attacking option and attacking openings, and someone who is more aggressive in transition, someone who is more aggressive in terms of his pressing play, and someone who is more versatile, a plan B of some sort, someone who can be able to get at the end of headers when we have crosses coming in. Thousands of times last season, we saw lots of layoffs, lots of crosses going into the box with no one down there to head the ball, no physical presence in the post. No one was there. But again, this Sesko guy, apart from being that guy that can be able to do all these alternative things I've talked about, is also a physical presence who could actually get his head at the end of those balls. I'm not saying he's the best option. I'm saying I want Victor Gyökeres, but if it's Sesko coming, bro, I have no problem, because both of them, to me, are both calculated risks.
Yeah.
It's just that one risk is more better than the other one.
Well, we're going to sign one of them, right? We're going to sign somebody going into the season, right? Because we cannot just run it back, right? We can't just rinse and repeat and talk about how good Kai Havertz looked in his gym workout and he's revitalized. We heard that before last year with Jesus, and 2 months of this season he's already injured, right?
Yeah, so man, we had that nonsense, man.
Yeah. We're gonna sign one of them, and Tony, I'm here. If we don't have a fast start to this season, the Emirates, big up, man. The Emirates is gonna get toxic if we don't have a fast start. By the first international break, if we are not top of the league, and I don't even, Tony, I don't care what the fixtures are. Our first 5 fixtures could be Liverpool away, City away, Stamford Bridge away, Old Trafford. I don't care. I want, if we play 5-6 games before the first international break, if it's 6 games, 18 points. No excuses. He is the second longest tenured manager in the Premier League.
But again, I hear you. And you know what you just said, it just set something off right now. An alarm just clicked on my head. Do you know the only reason why Berta, who has this kind of stern reputation in Europe for the way, for how he works? I mean, he's worked with hotheads, bro, at Atletico Madrid. Bro, those people in the administration in Atletico Madrid, bro, they're no jokes. For you to deal with those people, it's hard enough. You can hardly even buy players from Atletico Madrid. They hardly do business with people. They're a pariah club. It's hard to do business with those people. That's because of how they act, how they behave. Look at Diego Simeone and tell me that that's not the kind of guy that would drag you in the bus stop and say, hey, you know what, yeah, after the game, let's go to the bus stop or to the car park and let's set it off. Let's throw some punches. That's the kind of guys that are down there in Atletico Madrid. And for Berta to succeed in that place, to come down here only to carve that, bro, we've not even got into the summer. He is already carved to what Mikel Arteta wants. He hasn't come down here to kind of like tear the rap sheet of Mikel Arteta and the players he wants. But he's come to actually complement what this manager wants. So that should tell you one thing of someone who has the whole Game of Thrones all locked in. Is the manager, Mikel Arteta. He's the king. He's the king to beat. But do you know one reason why Berta would say, you know what, let me live in with the Sesko. Let me get this all out. It's just because of what you just said. If Mikel Arteta doesn't produce in his first 10 games next season, bro, the alarm clocks might tick and this manager might be sacked even before the season starts. Because right now, Berta might just be agreeing to everything this manager wants. So when that pendulum drops, he'll say, hey, you know what, man? I mean, I told you to bring in, Victor Gyökeres. You wanted Sesko. These are your players. You failed Mikel Arteta. And you have to get the chop. You have to get the sack. So in that case, Berta washes his hands clean, knowing that he didn't interfere in any situation. So I can understand that if that's what Berta's game is at. so that when it comes crashing down on Mikel Arteta's face during the season, no one would say, hey, he actually impeded me from getting the striker I want. So maybe they want him to just have his way. And when the whole rocks and the whole buildings come falling like a pack of cards, we all know what is going to happen by then.
So I understand that strategy. I don't agree with it, but I understand it, because just rip the Band-Aid off. We know he's the problem. Just rip the Band-Aid off and deal with the here and now versus kicking the can down the road, because I do believe the longer that Arteta stays here, the more damage he will do. And he will end up leaving a bigger mess for the next manager by keeping him here. So if you sack him now and just rip the Band-Aid off, it might hurt. It might hurt a little bit, but the initial shock will wear off over time. But for every other year that he stays here, he might set us back too. And we can't afford that right now, because next year either he is sacked or we win something. One of those things have to happen. He cannot not win next year and be the manager of Arsenal Football Club going into 2026, 2027 season. If we do that, then we are officially not a big club anymore. Officially, we are already unofficially not moving like a big club.
But now that's to you. Again, see, BBK Sports, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm telling you, man. I mean, that's to you. To the club, no, they are a big club. Bro, do you know the club that has the highest gains this season, just this season?
I'm talking about
guess. Pick a guess.
I know we compete off the pitch with finances. I know that. I'm talking about how we move.
Guess the football club. Yes, you guessed that right. Arsenal Football Club. We're even earning higher than Liverpool, brother. 278 million pounds is what we're raking in this season. But because of our what we did in the Champions League in the semi-finals, only with that we're getting 101 million pounds cash this season, only from Champions League football itself, my brother. That's higher than what other teams have gotten this season in terms of Liverpool, who have actually won the trophy. So in as much as you're saying not a big club, well, think again, brother. Just day before yesterday, Arsenal is now valued at about 4 billion pounds, my brother, man. Now that's up to nearly almost 1 billion pounds higher evaluation from last season. Last season, we were being evaluated at 3 billion pounds. Right now, we are being evaluated at 4 billion pounds. So sit down there and tell me that Arsenal isn't a big club to the owners.
Yeah,
to them, they succeeded. To them, they're okay. They're living large. Bro, it doesn't matter whether they win trophies. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. We're all pawns in this chess game. We're pawns. They move us like pawns. Look at how we're out here fighting and cursing out. I mean, not me and you, but I mean, we have to take into context the general view of Arsenal fans. Look at us here. They've made us, knock each other's heads, talking about Sesko. Calling out a 21-year-old kid, comparing him to all this. Bro, talking about your carers, talking about all this nonsense when we can't even recruit at all, knocking each other's heads, causing divisions, among the fan base in the football club, while these guys are walking away with millions of pounds, having higher evaluations year in, year out. 4 billion pounds is what Arsenal is worth now. 1 billion pounds higher than last season. We've raked in more money than any other Premier League club, even after not winning the title. Does that make sense to you? So it doesn't actually matter whether we fight over Sesko, whether we fight over Gyökeres. The cankerworms are still there. And they have a manager who is a human shield for them, the perfect human shield for them, and is winning for them. Don't get it wrong. Mikel Arteta is winning the trophies for Arsenal. It's just on the finances, not in the physical trophy. So, if you're the owner of the business, who would you pick? You will pick the guy who would confidently win you trophies in your bank account. I'm just saying.
But Tony, let me ask you this: who are the stakeholders of Arsenal Football Club? The true stakeholders of Arsenal Football Club are the fans. They don't line up. I tell you what, if no one shows up to the Emirates on opening day, it's 60,000 empty seats. They will listen. They will listen. They will have to listen. If the away fans, our first home game, the away fans are the only ones in the stadium, Stan Kroenke gets a phone call. The fans are the stakeholders of this football club.
Do you think that will happen?
It won't happen,
bro. Do you think that will happen?
There is not enough of us. There's not enough of us. Before I started doing content, I thought
you've just answered your own question. It's not going to happen. We have fans who like Mikel Arteta because he has nice hair. Bro, what are we talking about here? I've seen Arsenal fans that just like Odegaard because of he flicks his hair and snots. Bro, I've seen all kind of weird shit go on with the fan base of the football club. So do you think those are the fans that are gonna sit out of the stadium? Hell nah. Those guys are coming to watch. Bro, new merchandise are already out. Guess what? It will end up. Oh my days, bro. Yeah. Bro, man, let's not even go into the stories, man.
We just need enough to tip the scale. The same way enough tip the scale to get Wenger out of there. And I guarantee you,
there's no tipping of the scale in this one.
If we had
unless the owners grow tired, there's no tipping, bro. There's no tipping of anything. This guy is he's the best guy, bro. This is the best protector, human shield wise, that I've seen bro. This is the most protected manager. He's a persona non grata. I'm talking of bro, is a persona non grata in this continental hotel we call Arsenal.
But how did we?
He's John Wick. Is the Bubu Yega. I'm telling you, bro. Someone who would make Andre Berta card, bro. Andre Berta card. He wants Sesko now, bro. It takes something different to do that to Berta. Mostly when Arsenal fans are watching him, at every move he was going to orchestrate this season. It takes something more deeper to do that. I mean, there's no doubt. We have our Bobo Yeager down there. He is the boogeyman. I mean, the boogeyman you send to kill the boogeyman. I mean, it's John Wick out here. Let's get that correctly. And that's why he's getting Sesko in. He will get the numbers. He will get what he wants.
As you know, I lived in Germany for 3 years, right? I went to a Dortmund game, right? The fans are all unhappy. The German fans are on the Dortmund side. 60,000 people in the stadium. None of them entered the pitch. They all took coins, all the coins that they had in their pocket, threw it on the pitch, and stopped the game. The game had to stop. The players had to go talk to the fans. Bro, the fans, if they unite, which I've seen him do with my own 2 eyes, get the players, get the club to listen to him. It's just that it's only in England that this happens, where people be like, it won't happen. In other countries throughout Europe, the fans run the clubs.
It won't happen here.
Arteta could not get
it won't happen. Bro, I can bet on it. It will never happen at Arsenal. Bro, I know this fan base. Bro, look at what the Sasuke Gunner said. He says, never happen. Bro, he's so sure. He says, never happen. Arsenal club around the world lining up for any ticket, bro.
And I believe him. Because
bro, those tickets will end 1 hour before it's even open.
Tony, I used to be that fan. I used to fly all the way from these United States to London to watch 2 games a year, 1 home and 1 away. Each trip was 40.
I heard that, man.
So I used to be that, but it's the point where you love the club and the club was actually winning. Now that we're not winning anything, you can't get me to buy. Bro, there's a reason why I don't wear any Arsenal merch on any of my streams. Until we start winning, I have all the kits. I have drawers and dresses full of kits, but I will not until we start winning. Why did we let Liverpool sign a player before we did? We're trying to catch them. They announced Frimpong today. He is walking. They showed a picture of him walking by the trophy cabinet, showing all 32 of his teeth, just in front of the trophy cabinet. And we out here, and they made a bid. They signed a player to replace arguably the best right back in the Premier League that left them. and they made a bid for arguably the best midfielder in the world in Florian Wirtz. Those are the guys that we're trying to catch. We're trying to catch them by going after a 21-year-old striker and extending Sambi Lakonga's contract. That's what we're doing at Arsenal. And we're trying to bridge that gap with an inferior manager.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is crazy.
But again, because I'm a realist and I know Sesko is going to come. You know why? Because I think, number one, Mikel Arteta likes the guy. He's sold out on the guy. He thinks that's the guy that's going to solve his problems because of the system he plays. Understandable. He likes the guy. Good. No problem. But it's the other players that we can be able to bring that can be able to make that work. That's where I see this working out. If we go and bring in a Rodrigo or a Rafael, to the wings, because of course we do know that Trossard wants out of this football club, and of course, I mean, these are clowns. I mean, let's sell off this clown, all this kind of Martinelli, all this Trossard, all these clowns need to leave the football club. I mean, is there any? Do you have any objection to that?
No.
For these clowns to get out the football club? I mean, Trossard, Martinelli. I mean, Martinelli can stay for squad depth on the bench, no problem. But I mean, I want them out. But so if we can sell one of them, go get in maybe even a Nico Williams. I don't think Nico Williams is bad. Not my ideal signing down there. I prefer Rodrigo. Real Madrid have just said that. You know what? With 100 million, you can take a Rodrigo. You said?
You like Rafael Leao?
I think it's decent, but I don't think it's going to come to Arsenal.
Yeah, Rodrigo is the one, though. I think Rodrigo would cook at Arsenal.
Rodrigo is the one. And with what Rodrigo is demanding right now, Arsenal is the only club so foolish to actually get him what he wants. To be very sincere with you, he wants a £10 million deal. He wants a 5-year contract, and Real Madrid wants up to nearly 100 million. Arsenal is the only football club, as foolish as it gets, that can be able to fund that kind of deal. So, you know, I reckon we go for that deal. Mostly since Real Madrid wants to foster relations because they have that eye on that Saliba deal. So it's either they say, you know what, Arsenal, we want to do business with you. Give us Saliba and we can get a rebate for Rodrigo. If someone like a Rodrigo comes in, but bro, you have to think like this guys who are handling our football club. If you want to be sane, that's the only thing you have to do. But if you sit on your high horse and think that these guys are gonna sign or you're careless, bro, it's by design. My friend Matt Odom, the Southern Gunner, would tell you something and say, these things are by design. It's all designed, for us not to have that out and out striker. It's all by design. It's on purpose. But again, let's throw all that agenda all away. If we get in Sesko, what can we do to make it work? That's how real I am. If we get in someone like a Rodrigo and we bring in someone of the ilk of, like, let's say Sane, it won't cost us that much. Even if we like freebies, go and get him. It's free on the market. It's roaming about. I heard that Tottenham Hotspurs might be getting him. So run up, get Sane. At least he's played in this league before. Or maybe an Ademola Lookman. I don't really fancy him. I prefer English. I prefer English proven players like an Mbuemo. How about a Semenyo? But if I call all these players, I mean, there'll be a host of Arsenal fans that will call me out. So I don't want to, even engage in that. But bro, I don't see any reason why we can't get someone like a Semenyo down here in this football club to help out. It's better than what we have down there. How about an Mbuemo? It's better than the trash we have down there. Come and help out Bukayo Saka. Come help out. But I mean, we say what we want. This club does another thing. So it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah,
you can't win.
You can't win. Staski Gunner said, I've been to Baku, Azerbaijan, Europa final because the week the weak English fans wouldn't go. Whatever win percentage, he says, I wear Arsenal badge with pride. No, Saskaguna, I wear it with pride. When I'm out, when I go kick about with the Nigerians on Saturday mornings, when I'm out at the gym, all I wear is Arsenal kit. I just don't promote it on stream until we start lifting armpits, until we start lifting trophies, bro. And this is the
bro,
thing.
any creative player, Saskaguna, any creative player should stay, apart from Lokonga. There's no need sending Vieira. Bro, you saw what happened. Odegaard's thinking up the whole place, and we can't bring in any other person. We can't sign any decent person. We need options. So if we're not buying anyone, let's not be stupid enough to send Vieira on loan again. At least let's keep someone there who can be able to at least equip the bench with some necessary human shield that we can have down there in the bench. How about that? Yeah. If you can't sell the Vieira, no need to send him on loan. We paid $40 million for this guy. And he's gone down to Portugal, rediscovered his form again. I'm not saying bring him in. I'm just saying it's either you sell him, but don't loan him out again. It's either you bring him down to help out when Odegaard stinks out the place. I have no trust in our captain. I have no trust in Odegaard. On a good day, if he has a good day, I mean, he prevails. When he has a stinky day, I mean, he stinks up the whole place. Just like what we saw last season. We need help in that number 10. If I was Arsenal, what will I be doing right now? I would be going for someone like a Xavi Simons.
Now, the thing with Vieira, I think we should have loaned him to a Premier League club.
In that number 10 position. Or Clivert from Bournemouth in that number 10 position. He'll cook.
I like Clivert. Madrid may not have a spot in Madrid. This is a good point right here. And if not, hey, let's go for him. Let's go for him in January on a loan.
Let's go for him, man. Let's go for him. He might cost about 100 million. The evaluation is mad crazy. But again, Arsenal, bro, again, we have the money, bro. The money is there. We have the money. It's there. We're rich enough. Bro, we are the seventh most valuable club in the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
The seventh most valuable club in the whole of Europe. Our evaluation just increased from last season, bro. We just end high, bro, at the highest earners in English football last season, and we didn't win a goddamn trophy. So, I mean, let's put that money to use. How about that? Yeah, let's put that money into use. Let's go get Rodrigo. Since they've brought in Sesko foolishly, no problem. Let's just bring in players that can be able to cover up this mistake anyway. You know, because personally, I wanted a Victor Gyökeres, but because I don't have any personal problem with Sesko, I have no issues with him. It's Mikel Arteta and the board and Berta that I have a problem with. We're not recognizing what we deserve in this football club. And, and that's what I want us to focus on.
I know you want Arteta sacked immediately, like most of us do, but how long are you giving Berta? Because I don't have a problem with Berta as of yet. You know, I kind of understand.
No, if he brings in Sesko, automatically people will call for his head. That's the problem there. But again, like I've told you, it could just be a ploy just to make sure that the manager gets what he wants.
Yeah.
So that there's no complaint when the sackings come. I see that as a more workable strategy. So I'll give him a year. I'll give Berta a year in the football club, because I think it's strategically looking at, okay, the manager wants this. Okay, let's let him have what he wants. And then when he doesn't produce, and then he goes for the kill. In that aspect, no one would say Andre Berta truncated Mikel Arteta's final season. No one would say that. What they would say is, you got what you want, you got your players in, you got what you wanted, you had your reinforcement. We've been crying for a striker. You indeed chose to bring a 21-year-old to the football club who is at best a project player, but who has every trappings to be a very good number 9 in the latter years, but I mean, it's not the finished product right now. That's one thing we have to recognize. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, I'll give Berta a year.
A year?
I already have Northside calling for his head already if he doesn't.
I will
mean,
so,
you know these other guys, man. I mean, these guys they don't play. I mean,
yeah,
Northside he doesn't play. I mean, this one if you don't.
yeah.
I mean, I mean, he told me yesterday on a show. He said if Sesko comes into the football club, he's already better out. For me, I think that's overblown. But
I watched it.
I mean, I think it's overblown. But again, man, you have to also listen to this kind of perspectives too, because I mean, you know what we need. You know we need a typical stereotypical number 9 to come punch goals, and you're bringing in a 21-year-old. You know, I don't have a problem with the 21-year-old. I have a problem with you for thinking that a 21-year-old project player is the one to bail us out of the situation we're in. Yeah, not with a 21-year-old, but with you, the board, the person who is orchestrating that move. These are the people I have problems with, not necessarily with Sesko, who is just a young kid trying to hone his skills.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with his age. You know, it's not an age thing because no one talks about Lamine Yamal's age. You know, if you're good enough, you're old enough. You know, I just don't think
exactly. You know, one other question I wanted to ask you, my brother, man, since we're staring the pot down here, and that also involves stirring the pot of our rivals, Chelsea, the lap, Liam. I mean, 30 million. I mean, they kind of like went down to Ipswich, focused on a loophole of Ipswich where they had a clause in Liam's contract for 30 million. They spotted it, tap, tap, boom, they got it done. If that was Arsenal, we would rather play 60, 70 million. We wouldn't even do any due diligence to even find out if he has, something in that contract. We just go give them 70. But I mean, getting 30 million, parting with 30 million for Delap is a steal, even if I don't necessarily think is what Arsenal needs. But what do you think about that transfer to Chelsea? They were done.
Yeah, I think Chelsea have made a decision on Jackson. I think Delap is going there to be a backup. I don't think he's going to be the main striker. I think they're going to move Jackson on and use Delap as the backup, as a deputy to the actual striker that they're going to get. And I'm of the belief that when we sign Sesko, then they'll go get Gyökeres or they'll go get Osimhen, because they were in for Osimhen before he went to Turkey. And then adding to the madness, when we start slow, can you imagine we sign Sesko, we start slow, boring football, drawing games early, and then Sesko is over there and Gyökeres or Osimhen is over at Chelsea banging in goals. Toxic. It's going to get toxic in these North London streets because Chelsea won a trophy this year. Tottenham won a trophy this year. Arsenal fans are getting punched up left and right by Palace fans as the only London club not to win a trophy this year. It's going to get peak and toxic for these Arsenal fans who are supporting Arteta. And then those once they turn, Tony, is when the tide will start to turn, when we start slow. Because I am not accepting anything but wins when we start the season. No more excuses. But
no more excuses, man.
Yeah, so the same. Chelsea has looked at Nicholas Jackson for 2 seasons, and they've made a decision like, no, he's not it. And here we are going into a 3rd season with Kai Havertz, thinking he is it. Well, he has shown us that he wasn't it at Chelsea, and it hasn't been it for us. So we cannot see how we let Liverpool usurp us and jump us to the title when City fell off. We cannot have another team, especially a London rival, jump ahead of us and get nowhere near the title, Tony. We cannot have
exactly, man.
So if Berta doesn't know what he's coming into, he's about to learn very quickly how toxic it can get.
He's about to learn, exactly, bro.
The other one.
He's about to learn, man. He's about to learn. I keep saying, in our football club, mostly in the administrative end, we have lots of vipers and snakes and lots of insects, down there, poisonous ones down there. They can corrupt anything. Even the most, even the most, bro, even the most astute, stern looking, sporting director, they'll corrupt him. And, and again, that's what's happening. I just really hope that this guy finds his feet. I just really hope that they don't diminish, the fire and the zeal with which he came to Arsenal, because I don't think he came to Arsenal to bow down and kiss the ring to Mikel Arteta. I don't think so. Mostly with the record he has. So I'm shocked at this turn for Benjamin Sesko. But again, let's see what happens, man. I'm just a little bit disappointed in Berta. We're hearing of, we heard of the problems brewing behind the scenes, but the noise. The noise didn't even rumble on for 1 month, 2 months. Let's know that there's a fight, but it just rumbled for like 4 days, and that's it. You car to bring in Sesko. That tells me that, as tough as you said you are, or it's either maybe Mikel Arteta punches hard than a Diego Simeone. It's either of those things. Bro, the way he just caught, bro, instead of talking to Sesko, bro, these are the certain things that you need to measure. You need to measure these things at the same time. So it gives you a perspective into what's going on behind the scenes. If you can carve under 3-4 weeks to what Mikel Arteta wants, then that should tell you who the final king of the Game of Thrones really is. That should tell you who the Baba Yaga is. And I'm sorry, guys, the Baba Yaga we're talking about down here is Mikel Arteta. He's just the boss. He's the boss.
When Berta signed, I asked myself, and I said to the stream, I said to the chat one day, I said, in a couple of weeks, we're going to find out if Berta is a Antonio Conte type Italian or Enzo Maresca type Italian, right? And if he is cowering to Arteta without that strategy that you alluded to earlier, then this lets us further know just how much power Arteta yields at the club. Because Tony,
he wields it.
I ask you this.
Thank you, Saskia Gunner, for subscribing to my brother, BBK Sports. Thanks, Saskia Gunner, because, of course, me and him have a show running together, Stare the Port. This is our second episode, and of course, he's a great brother. You've seen him. He talks football, he's a moderate guy. He talks points, talks facts. He doesn't just argue because he wants to argue. At least he puts points behind whatever he's saying, and I really like the brother. So thanks for subscribing to his channel, Saskia Gunner.
Hey, big up, man. The Assembled has a question for you, Tony. He says, why is a project player on a full package player's wages? He's being set up for failure. Is he being set up for failure? Essentially, yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. It's being set up for failure because if you don't get, this is the problem. RB Leipzig didn't have the apparatus, they didn't have the structure to actually give Sesko what he needed to be that standout striker. He was always doing everything. He was holding up play, he was linking up play. He's that guy that was leading the press. He was actually helping up in the build-up, in transitions. He was the one trying to run things down the line. So he had to do a whole lot of things that should just be easier for a midfielder that has the passion and has the skills to just get the passes, to just get those crosses straight to him and let him do his finishing. But he had to do all these things by himself, and at the end of the day, go into the box and go help out Impenda to actually try to score goals. Mind you, Impenda was played more further than Sesko. Sesko was more, it's just like maybe you're playing a 4-4-2. It was just the other striker, but it was more of the other striker doing the dirty work while the other one just stays to try to poach the ball. That's what Mpenda was down there doing in RB Leipzig. So he needs that freedom to just do what he has to do and just be a striker at the football club. So therefore, he needs a number 10 who is on game. He needs wingers who are fast, who are ferocious like him, because he does, bro. One thing about his game is that he presses like a lion, bro.
Yeah.
His presses, bro. I've not seen, bro. His presses, it's frightening. So he will cost lots of, bro. See, one of the issues that we really had last season is that we never had that guy, that point man who would actually stretch the opposition defenses. We never had that kind of guy that would do that. Kai Havertz tried, but I mean, he can only, I mean, you can never give what you don't have. Yes, he was good in spells in some of those pressing games. We needed him, but not just enough. I'm telling you that this guy is a upgrade on Kai Havertz times 6 in terms of his pressing game, in terms of his versatility, in terms of his hold-up play, in terms of his physical presence in the box, in terms of his goal ratio. That's the bigger problem. That's why we do need some other supporting acts to actually come down to the football club to help him out. If we don't have that, then we're setting him up for failure, as the assembled said. But the only way this guy can be able to actually hit anything about anything, ground running or anything, unless we have the support system to back him up. If we don't have that, it's back to square one. So, I mean, you could have just easily have gone with the calculated risk that we talked about, which is Victor Gutierrez in the first place.
Yeah. So, I mean, bottom line, it seems like we're gonna sign Sesko in it. It looks like Sesko is gonna be the guy, and I'm not gonna do a Liverpool scouser and boom like they blew Trent. I'm gonna support the player because he could. There's a chance that he comes to Arsenal and bang, right? It can happen. He can unlock something, or it's just a good fit. It can,
bro. It can happen, bro. If you have the structure behind you, it will happen. Isaac didn't come to the league in the Premiership with high astronomical numbers. Right. He was an average player at best at Real Sociedad, but with the whole trappings of a number 9 that you could actually trust in a way that he was gonna get there in the next 2-3 seasons. And maybe his schedule just came up early. He came down to Newcastle, had a whole goddamn system built around him to actually transform him as a striker and score goals. So, in other words, what am I trying to say? Sesko is in that same line. He has the old trappings to be one of the best and most ferocious strikers in the world. Is it what we need right now? No, he's a project player at best. But guess what? Your football club have decided to go for a 21-year-old. So don't cut my neck. Go cut their necks, not my neck. Go argue with the owners, not with me, not with anyone who won't abuse or curse out a 21-year-old. It's not our duty to cuss him out, because he could even be our player, by the way, and it's not by his own design. And this is the problem about calling out Sesko now that it's coming in. Yeah, when you divided about your number 9 that you're just bringing into the football club, when he needs that support, he won't get it. That's the bigger problem for not calling out the right people.
Yeah.
You have a cancer, God forbid. Instead of going to cut off the cancer, you're going for other body parts that are still okay. Yeah. No, you have to go and cut off the cancer. That's what you should do, rather than going to other body parts and getting what's not linked to any cancerous formation. So that's what Arsenal is actually doing.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, Tony, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you think of the idea that Arteta is more opted for Sesko because he is 21 or 22 now. Today's his birthday. Saskia Gunnar just told us he's 22.
Yeah.
22 is a 22-year-old is much more or easier to mold, to manipulate, to control than an actual striker in his prime, mid-20s. So, because Gyökeres at 27, you're setting your ways. You are who you are. You only got about 5 to 6 more years left. Sesko has his own, what do you subscribe to the idea that this is just another Arteta just trying to, being the control freak that he is, just, hey, this guy's more easy to control. Give me another puppet.
But it has always been like that. I mean, there's no difference. It has always been the deal. He has always wanted players that he could be able to. He needs malleable. That's the word, malleable players. Players he could mold in his image and in his likeness. That's what he wants. He wants to take credit for helping out a player. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yeah. But he wants to be the guy that did the great thing for a player. Now, that's personal glory he's chasing. And that's why when people say he's egotistical, I mean, don't doubt it. He's that kind of guy. I mean, he's a boastful manager. He's a guy that wants people to know that he's the Don, that if it's not done in its own way, it can be done in any other way. So that's why this signing of Sesko just actually reaffirms who's boss, who's holding the whole, who's holding the old fire rings, and he's the one. I mean, there's no excuses, man. I mean, he wanted Sesko, he's getting his man, he's in control, and that's what he likes to do. He likes to be in control. I've never seen a season, maybe apart from his first season when he came down to the football club, where he had to deal with tough egos like Mesut Ozil, Lacazette, and all these other tougher juggernauts around, and Aubameyang. He had to use a season plus or 2 seasons to flush this this competition out. And right now he has a team of yes men. No one in that team can actually face Mikel Arteta and say anything to him. None, no one. Name me any. Even our captain. Do you think our captain can even talk to Arteta? No, none of them. They have no balls. They have no. Nothing, bruv. No fight, nothing, bro. None of them can have a word with him. None. That's to tell you the kind of coach and the kind of manager he is someone that demands absolute loyalty. That's what he demands from his players. I mean, that it's not bad to have that kind of a thing. Even me too. I mean, that's why my circle of friends is very small, because I demand utmost loyalty, and I also believe that I should be loyal to those set of friends that I do have to. It's something good to have. But again, you have to also understand that this is a team sport. I am the team for myself. You are the team for yourself. You determine what's good and okay for yourself. But when you are in a team sport, you have to think about what's good enough for the whole team and not just what's only good for you. So, I mean, when you go by that, man, Arteta has failed us, my brother, man. Yet another project signing coming to the football club that I don't necessarily think is that bad. But I mean, Mikel Arteta might actually just be setting the guy up to fail. That's another thing that the assembled said that I'm beginning to think. If he brings in Sesko and he doesn't bring a new number 10, and he doesn't bring in a winger to help out in that left-hand side, and he doesn't actually even bring in someone to help out Bukayo Saka, then I would know. Or even a new midfielder, Of course, Zubimendi is coming in. We just need a number 10 who will come and help out with Odegaard, and 2 wingers who will help out in our left and right wing. If we have that in place, I would say okay. But if he doesn't put that in place, then he's setting it up for failure. That's it.
Yeah. And the whole loyalty thing and control thing, that's all fine and dandy. You can do all that. We will respect it, but we also need you to win. Because right now, you see, he seems to like to have a happy camp and everyone gets along, which is fine. But you know what else creates a happy camp? Winning. Because no one at Liverpool Football Club is unhappy right now. Right? No, everyone there is happy. So let's do it.
Everyone is happy. Everyone is loyal right now.
Yeah,
just win trophies.
Winning, then we can do all the other stuff later, right? Let's take care of the meat, then we can put the potatoes and the veggies and all the other stuff on the plate. But we need, we need to get the main course done before we start, asking for desserts and all the other stuff.
Yeah, and all the good stuff.
People, thank you for checking in. Make sure you are hitting the like, whether you're over by Tony's channel or you're over here by the BBK Sports. If you watch me and you aren't subscribed to Tony Gunner TV, make sure you go over there and subscribe. Some great content. If you're over by Tony, you want to hop over here, his link is in the description, in the title actually. Just click on it. It won't take you away from the channel. And make sure you subscribe to Tony Claude TV. Arteta don't like superstars. He sure does not. He sure does not. The Assemble said Arteta is overconfident, but the Cronkies are competent businessmen. I agree. I'll say no more. I'm buying my popcorn and waiting for the fireworks because they will be there in May, in April. We will see. Either it will be a happy bunch or it'll be an epic meltdown for 6 years. We're getting into Wenger territory now. That 9-year drought, we're getting into that territory now. If he doesn't
before we go, yeah. The Assembled. Pull up his comments, man. See, The Assembled. I want to publicly. I know it's not on my channel, but I want to publicly apologize to you. Last season when I was carried away by our Champions League win, over Real Madrid, and it got to my head, and I was drunk a little bit. I wanted Arsenal to actually win that trophy, man. It hurts, man. I had to take some days off just to recalibrate and to just recuperate from the failure of Arsenal and what they did to me this season. But I'm sorry because it was one of those. I was telling me, calm down a bit, relax a bit, but I was like, leave me alone, man. No one is slowing down this train. But eventually the train came crashing and it crashed real bad, it crashed real bad, so I'll be the bigger guy, and I'll say, I'm sorry,
it's very noble.
There's a lot of egos in this YouTube space, yeah. But I'm one of those that when I'm wrong, I want to come out and say I'm wrong. I want to come out and say, I'm sorry.
Big up to the Assembles, big up to the Assemble. He's always in these spaces.
Yeah, big up the Assembles, man. He's a real one. He has always supported my channel. And big ups to Xavier, who is down here, Sasuke Gunner, and Bag of my guy and my friend.
Yeah, so Bygrove is asking us, what about tomorrow, man? UCL final that we should have been in, Tony. This should have been us, but it's not. You think Inzaghi can get one over on Louis?
It hurts, man. It hurts, man.
It hurts, doesn't it? Yeah,
it hurts. I think Inzaghi wins it, man.
Yeah,
they will defend with honor. They will defend that post with honor, my brother, man. You know these guys when they want to defend, bro. They defend till death. It's gonna be bone crushing. The kind of defending they're gonna do tomorrow. And again, don't get it twisted. They can't score goals. If there's any proof to show to you of what they can do offensively, just take a look at that matchup against Barcelona. And they actually didn't do all the whole playing on that day. They sat back and hit from the counter attack. Bro, that's dangerous football. I want Arsenal to play like that. You don't have to play sexy football. You don't have to dominate the whole play. Sometimes you can just decide, you know what, let's sit back. Let's just sit back and hit from a counter attack. But let's just have the players that can be able to orchestrate that kind of system. How about that? There's no need playing sexy football without winning the game. Just look at what they did. They humiliated Barcelona with all that ball possession, with all that Yamal and all that noise. they blocked the noise, they defended properly, they in transitions they were effective. When they needed to put the ball at the back of the net, they did. Bro, Inter Milan deserves this. They deserve this trophy than any other team. PSG, yeah, they pulled their weight in, but Inter Milan has been the most disciplined, the most complete team. Are you talking of goals scored? Are you talking of composure? Are you talking of defending? Are you talking of transitions? Are you talking of general play? Everything. They have everything.
Okay.
It's an all-round football team. And again, they're blessed with a manager that knows what he's doing. How about
Yes.
that?
Yeah, I can appreciate how they can switch up their tactics mid-game. Mid-game, they just go from X to Y to Z, and everyone knows where to be. That's the hallmark and the indicator of a top manager. Absolute class. Absolute class. Are you doing a watch along for the Champions League final, Tony?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna be doing any watch along. Tomorrow I might just sit back and relax and watch it, man. I might even maybe join Bant. He's having a watch along. I might join him. I don't know. I might just go to different channels. If you're doing something, I might pop in. I might go anywhere, tomorrow. But I have a show now. After I finish the show, with my people at Sackers in TV. So I have to go down there. And
you're over there with Flawless. Make sure you cook Flawless, man. Make sure you cook him. Make sure you cook him.
Flawless.
Make sure you cook Flawless. Because Flawless.
That's my guy. I'm heading there now, and I think the show has started. But I'll go there right now.
Yeah, people.
They hate Arsenal, man. They hate Arsenal, bro.
Big up to the people.
They hate Arsenal,
big up to the assembled. Big up to Sasky Gunner. Big up to Why Not. Big up to every single one of you who popped in the stream. If I forget to shout your name out, it's a mistake of the mind, not the heart. I love each and every one of you who pop in here and give us your time and your viewership. I appreciate it, man. But people, like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. I appreciate man like Tony coming in. I've been wanting to talk to Tony for a long, long time just to get his, thoughts on the season. Throughout the season, it ebbs and flows. Emotions go up, emotions go down. When the fog clears and we can let our brains think for the madness, we can give an honest assessment. And I think we can all unilaterally say the season was a failure. Second wasn't good enough. It was a distant second. It wasn't a challenge. It was never a title race. But next year, we absolute must. Or we will have a new manager for the 2026-2027 season. Big up to every single one of you. Thank you again, people. Take care of yourselves.
Big ups, people.
Until next time, we are
Peace.
gone.
We out.